Welcome back, fellow adventurers. This is Cheryl with Adventures of C&C, and I am in Saba in the Dutch Caribbean, and there's this huge new project right in the middle of Windward Side, and I'm so excited because the project construction person, project manager, is sitting here with us today, and he's going to give us an overview and a tour of what's coming. This is a new hotel to Saba, so follow us. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Taking my chances along with my dreams.
I'm the project manager for QBR for the Scouts Project Hotel. QBR is a joint venture company from a local that's joined with a local company that's Ross Contracting, and then our associates on the West Coast that provide us with the engineering and the architectural work that we use to help finish our projects. So this is an exciting project, and excuse me if I stumble a little bit. I'm not used to being interviewed, so I hope your editing skills are good.
Yeah, no,
anyway,
all good.
But it's an exciting project. I mean, you have a lot of family history on the island. We all do.
Yeah.
So Grandpa Royston worked here years ago.
This is really special for you.
Yeah, and my wife, she came here from Austria as a tourism employee to work for a few months, just as working abroad. So she worked with TUI, and so she came to Scout's Place. And then, that was 18 years ago. And so now she's actually helping us rebuild. She's our administrator. So there's so much history, there's a lot of history, and it's so nice to contribute to Saba and the growth of Saba. And so we're really looking forward to making a really nice hotel for Saba, for tourists and locals and everybody alike to come and visit Saba and enjoy the scenery and enjoy the new facility.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Now, how many rooms will you have?
We're going to end up with 36 different rooms, and we're doing the variations of room that can accommodate all budgets and travel persons. So we have what we call the skybox rooms, which is the original 10 rooms from the hotel that are being extended and refurbished, and then allowing more privacy to the guests, so that you have private balconies, etc. Then we have the larger cottages, which are just they're a bit bigger. They have small kitchenettes in them and stuff like this. And then we have the lower units, which are called the earth rooms, but basically they're the ground floor units, but they all have nice ocean views or mountain views, or a combination of both. And then we have what we're calling the family units, which are basically two cottages that can be opened up into one. So if you travel with your family, you can rent two cottages for one. And then also next to the family units will be a spa, a gym, and then the pool will be in that area, along with our Scouts Tiki Bar. So, and then that goes all the way to the far side on that side. And then there's easy access to the road, and there'll be parking on that side of the road as well. So for guests that maybe the families rent more cars than the single traveler, or the couple traveler that would maybe use a taxi or just walk around or something like this. So we think we're going to have something for everybody.
It sounds that way.
Yeah, and then the interior designer is coming in next week, so she's making unique adjustments to each room to where it can be, we can have themed rooms, you know, we're going to create a Nooks unit that, like if couples wanted to rent a couple of cottages, we're going to create a space where they can have their own private cottages where they can be cordoned off from the rest, so they have more privacy and a big lounge seating area in between the two cottages so they can gather around. We want to have one that has its own private sun deck, for example, some that have garden views, and so we want to try to have different options for basically everybody when they come. They have options to choose what rooms they would like and what they want to see and things like that, and of course their budget.
And their budget,
You know,
that's
so-
great. So you have a range of pricing.
Yeah, a range
That's
of prices
wonderful.
and budgets, and of course I don't have the details of that yet, but
Right.
that's up to the operator, and
Yeah.
I'll just build it.
Yeah. And you mentioned a tiki bar. Will you guys have a restaurant on the property as well?
Yeah, so we're going to have I'd like to say a grand restaurant. It's going to have a seating capacity of around 84 people, and it's on a single floor plan, and it comes out of the reception. You'll go into the lounge area and then enter into the bar and restaurant area. And then you have basically all open ocean views from the restaurant. And then they're also creating an open kitchen concept so that you can watch the chefs and everybody prepare and cook the food for you. So as you walk by into the restaurant, the kitchen is going to be all nice and open, so you can see a nice clean kitchen with your, say, a lobster being prepared or your red snapper being fried, which is
Yum.
my favorite, right?
Yeah.
How do we keep the nostalgia of Scouts, but maybe put another name to the hotel that starts fresh, right? So there will be some aspect, something's going to be named Scouts around it, but the actual name that you see on the roadside and that's going to be advertised and promoted may not actually be Scouts Place, and that's mainly the one reason, just to avoid old previous negative reviews and how to get rid of old pictures, and so it's rather than go through to try to delete all this stuff, it's better to start fresh,
Yeah.
And I suggested we name the Tiki Bar Scouts Tiki Bar, right? So
There you go.
why not, right? It's
So you incorporate a little bit of the old.
and so actually what we did too as well, so we saved the original old steel name that was cut out of old steel. It says Scouts Place. So we're going to put that somewhere, and then there's a lot of ballast bricks from the ships that came here years ago. And we're going to use those to put back into the bar. So we're going to reuse old ballast bricks into the bars. And then there's an old piece of the original kitchen
I saw that.
that's left there that's been, the project manager makes me laughs about it because Stanley, if you knock it over, you got to put it back together one stone at a time, because it's old just rock and dirt with a little bit of limestone holding it together, because it's
almost dust.
yeah, it's over 100, maybe it's 200 years old by now, or 150, right? It's pretty old,
It's pretty
from the old original, and that was from the house's old original kitchen that got turned before Scouts, and they got turned into the restaurant kitchen into the hotel, right? So anyway, they made me save it. They made me promise not to knock it down, and then it's going to be and then it's going to become like a feature in the landscape. So we're going to landscape around it. We may try to do like a mural inside of it, because on one side it has the cut stone, and on the other side is a plastered surface. So maybe we'll do a mural of what the old Scouts look like, or something like this. Just something that,
to tie it in.
that people can ask a question about the history, and then kind of maybe put two and two together, and so we'll see, and then. And then when they're at the Scouts Tiki Bar, then they can talk about it.
It's a talking point. So.
It's a point of discussion, so which is good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and we're getting The main structure for the restaurant was fabricated in Trinidad for us, so that we could maintain an open concept. And here, of course, in Saba, we have to deal with hurricanes and earthquakes. So the engineering is done we engineer everything actually to Miami-Dade Cat 4 standards. And then the engineering for the earthquakes is Class C standards for earthquakes. So a lot of engineering went into it. We wanted to maintain, obviously, the Saba look. We don't want a big, industrial-looking building, right? Mm-hmm. So we asked the steel frame structures done in box. So it would have just look like a wood post, except it's steel, and it's painted white, and we'll still have the nice red roofs and everything. So we're sticking with the traditional Saba look and colors. It's just on a bigger scale, and the trusses will appear to be wood, but it's actually steel. So, and then the steel comes in two different ways. It was an insurance thing as well. So wood, fire, things like this. If we can manufacture it with steel but maintain the look of wood, then the insurance companies, we got some advice from them on that as well, because the long term of the hotel and the operating costs reflect back on the pension fund and their investments as well. So if you have high operating costs, depending on your construction methods, then that affects the hotel operator and the return on the investment. So all parts of the construction also revert to keeping the operating costs under control, so it's easily maintained and operated hotel, so that it should function well, as well as being a beautiful place for us to enjoy.
Yeah, and we only think, speaking of beauty, we only think of that beautiful building. We don't think of the planning that goes into a project like this, and the engineering, and from the hurricanes to the earthquake plans. And so, yeah, we wouldn't even think of that. So I'm so happy that you can share with us how much goes into a project like this.
And the planning, we planned for a year ahead of time. And so the steel frame structure, we ordered it about 8 months ago, and then it had to go through its own engineering and design process. It was completed in December, shipped in late January, and it's actually scheduled to arrive on the island next week.
Really?
So we will be pre-staging it down in the harbor, and then we've got 2 more floors to pour in front of us, which the guys are excavating and digging out now to prepare for those. Okay. And then we hope by April that we can actually be finished with those 2 floors and start the main steel erection of the trusses. And then this main center structure will then start to take shape. So that's going to be, we're really looking forward to it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. So it's, it's all just like, it's a evolving, growing process, right? And it's exciting to be a part of it.
Well, we've only been here a few weeks, like 6 weeks. And from the time we came till now, the progress, we've been watching it progressing, and it's super cool. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have a projected time for the project to be finished?
Yes. Everybody, we'd love to see it done this year. However, we still have a hurricane season coming up. We are preparing to be dried in before the peak of the hurricane season. So any inclement weather we do receive, we can possibly reduce our lost time by working inside. So that's already being planned out. But we still have, the normal holidays. We still expect a few weeks of possible delays. So it's going to be anywhere end of the year through early spring of 25. So give or take, something like this. We, with the rocks on Saba and the amount of rock hammering, and we use a lot of what's called expansion cement or silent dynamite to help with the rock breaking. So we ended up with using almost 500 pounds of silent dynamite to help us break the rock here. We ended up with an additional 3 weeks of just processing and removing the rock and breaking it to get it out. We removed over 2,000 ton of excess waste rock from the site to get it to the buildable location. That took us an extra 3 weeks longer than anticipated. So we have 3 weeks extended to our original deadline just based on the rock design. And then of course we have several holidays a year that gets input in. And then last year we had about, I think it was 11 days total loss from due to weather, which is not bad for a full year.
Yeah.
So and we started in April of last year, and so we're almost to the full year into it. But I mean, give or take, we're relatively moving in a decent pace that we're.
You guys have done amazing into that space and that time. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's had its share of challenges, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah. I'm not sure if fun is the word I'd use, but
Well,
sounds more like a challenge.
Yeah.
I see so much progress. How many guys do you have working around here?
So between the main subcontractor, which is Roofline, that's doing all the concrete work for us, and the MEP guys, the electrical engineers, the plumbing, and the HVAC, the AC guys, there's probably plus or minus 20 people here on any given day, on all different aspects. So, and that's going to increase as we have the finishing crews come on with the drywallers, the tilers, and then the painters that'll follow through, right? And then of course it's the furnishings and those crews, and everything's gonna be in stages following one after the other. And so it's just gonna get a little bit busier, but not too much, maybe another 5 to 10 people. So we could be up to 30 people at some point in time, but we have still the steel and foundation guys all the way through to the finishing guys that do the painting and installing cabinets and furnishings and things like that. And that's when it's going to get really exciting, And then we'll have a model room set up so that guys can always say, okay, this is the finished look, this is what you need it to look like, rinse and repeat, make sure everything looks the same.
That's wonderful. So
and when we're working with our supply partners, which hassle-free out of Palm City, I believe they're out of, really does a good job keeping us with all our materials. We already have all the windows and doors for the project already on Saba, so they help us stay ahead of the game, and they're helping us with so much more of the supplies that it's really a good partner to have. And,
that's great.
And that's the key thing, it's keeping the supplies coming. Because
Yeah.
once we run out of something and then the guys are standing around, we don't want that.
And you have to plan ahead because it takes a while to get to Saba, so
yeah. So that's all.
Happy to hear that.
We were taught as Boy Scouts from Saba, right? With Veneer Freddy. So that goes back to that.
That's your foundation.
Right? Who'd have known?
Yeah. And I know besides this project, before we met with you, you were in a meeting with another huge project that we have also had the pleasure to sit with the commissioner and telling us about the new marina. So you're also involved into the new marina project.
Yeah, so that's another a really, really exciting project for Saba that we're hoping it's going to help put Saba on the map and on this corner of the Caribbean in the region. And so it's such a large project for Saba. I think it's the biggest in Saba's history.
I think so.
And the collaboration of companies that we're working with, it's not one singular company. But it makes it neat and interesting because there's people from North America, from Holland, from Trinidad, from South Caribbean, all around that are collaborating to help pull it all together, including with our friends and partners in St. Martin next door. So it's a massive joint effort, but it's great to pull everybody. So we had meetings today from 3 different time zones, to collaborate, to get everybody we start fine tuning the process. We've got until May 1st to finish the tender and the costing, and then I believe they want to award it in June and start in July. So that's going to be pretty amazing for Saba. And then at the same time, we're also doing the hospital expansion. So we're creating the special needs facilities there, the therapy rooms, and the administration building, and the restaurant, and the assisted care living units as well. So that's a huge project in the bottom that's currently underway as well. So well, I think we've pretty much put the entire construction workforce to Saba is now pretty busy
Yeah.
between these current projects. You know,
I want to say like this is the most construction going on at one time in Saba that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
I
You know,
think so, right?
and Saba before, you know, construction is peaks and valleys. You know, we'll build a house here or we'll do a renovation there, something like this. You know, and so maybe you have work for 6 months and then maybe you're off for a few months in between projects. I mean, it is what it is. We know. I mean, there's 2,000 people on Saba, so not everybody's going to be building a house every year, right?
Yeah, right.
But then now, yeah, of course, now we have these long-term projects underway. The hospital is, you know, it's phase one is 385 working days, and we have the hotel here. So we have nice projects that the guys can. They don't have to worry about being out of work in 3 months. They know
Right.
you're going to be busy for the next 3 years between the different phases and the different projects. So it gives guys a little bit of confidence and hope, and it gives Saba a really nice boost to the economy because we're pumping a lot of money into the local economy every month, which is not usual for Saba. You know, building a house here and there versus building a hotel, hospitals, and looking to start a marina is really something nice for Saba, and I look to the benefits.
It sure
Yeah, it's
is,
going to be
yeah.
really good for the island, you know.
Yeah, it's awesome. And this project ties in with the new marina because now you have the accommodations when we have more tourists coming to the island.
That's
so
right. So and
be able to accommodate.
the timing is really nice. So you know we've gotten this underway and going, and this will be done by the time before the harbor is done. So when the harbor is done, the hotel's ready. You know, come on in. You know, the doors are open, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And especially with the variety of rooms you have, you know, you can accommodate overnighters or people staying longer. And
Yeah, long stay.
So, yeah,
you know,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's some of the things we have today is we're scheduling, okay, the next island visit meetings. And, you know, we had 9 people flying in for the original site visits 2 weeks ago, just from our group. So, you know, that brings, you know, economy to the island already,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
we have to eat somewhere, we have to stay somewhere. So, and that's just going to increase every month from here until the harbor starts. And then from there, it's just like a rocket ship. It's going to take off.
Take off. Yeah.
So, yeah, and the construction is going to drive the economy until tourism takes over, you know?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
really good,
Yeah.
you know? Just gives Saba a really nice economic boom at the moment. And let's hope it's sustainable. That's the key, you know,
That's the key, yeah.
you know, we can keep it moving.
We hope so. And we like to think that we play a little part by promoting Saba. And every time we come, we try to, you know, promote different things going on in Saba. And so this is really nice. I'm so happy you took the time.
Oh, that's great. No, I'm very happy to take the time for you. I mean, it's exciting for us, right?
I'm
So,
sure it's
yeah.
very exciting. Well, thank you so much for sharing
Oh, you're
with
very
us.
welcome.
We wish you all the best with this project, and we can't wait to come back and probably stay here and have some cocktails in the new Sticky Bar.
Yeah, I'll be happy to join you.
Don't forget, if you like this video, give us
A huge thumbs up and smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell.
See you on the road.